Welcome to Blended Healing. The being of a Black woman. Wow. Yeah, we're going here. It's a touchy subject, and it won't be received in the spirit of its intention, regardless of how it's worded or how it's spoken. The respect that one demands has to be a respect that is given. We can't just look at a situation and shut up or shut down somebody's feelings on the subject because it's not in alignment with what we want to hear. We must also realize when feelings are standing in the place of the facts of the matter, both have a valid place and should be respected. Two things can exist in the same space, but if there are two things, we can't just decide to ignore one of them. If somebody has the right to determine how they will be defined, so does the next person. Being a Black person is not a feeling. It's a reality since our birth. We will never sit back and tolerate someone that is not Black telling what it means to be Black in America. And being a Black woman is not a feeling, it's who we are. There is more to it than simply adapting or appropriating the culture. And with that being said, womanhood is more than a feeling. It's about a collection of experiences that begin from day one. This is not a position that is not against any grow, but it's based on an experience of having grown from a girl to a woman with all the ups and downs that comes with it. We ain't got no phobia. It's time we misusing and weaponizing phobia against biologically being born a woman who has a voice about their position on womanhood. They just other people have just as much right to speak on the matter and define themselves as the next person. But being a woman is more than sex identification, and it's more than a feeling. It's about instincts that come with being a woman. It's about learning how to navigate a world that is not always kind based on gender alone, navigating social norms and expectations. It's not easy. Many of us grow up or grew up battling with what was considered feminine. And if you were like a tomboy, depending on your family, that was rough water for you to navigate on your own. Growing up being told there were too many challenges that you would have to face, being Black and being a woman. It isn't just a feeling, it's been a reality that has shaped us. And now we move in a world for as long as we have lived, and every woman has a when my menstrual cycle story begins. And many of us were filled with confusion and embarrassment. We had to learn to cope with the severe pain when that time of the month showed up. Missing school sometimes was not an option. And dealing with a very heavy flow meant trial and error and embarrassment. There should have always been free protection in every girl's bathroom when we were in school. But we all had to pay for it if it was there. If it was there. Sorry for the graphic nature. We had to navigate through tough spaces that came with growing pains. And there are women going through the health challenges as we speak and are solely tied to them being a woman. Do they not deserve to be heard? Their medical battles are more than a feeling. They don't deserve to be shut down or shut up. Women have been risking their life and some losing their life since the beginning of time giving birth. Black women have been dying in labor and delivery at an alarming rate. They had a voice. There are so many growing pains and experiences that are more than just feelings. It's literally a no escape reality. This truth has to be respected. And when women express their feelings, they deserve to be heard and have what they are expressing be respected as much as the next person. However, this is not the case. When biological women began talking about protecting themselves, having safe spaces, and the existence they have. What about their predecessors that had to fight for everything? And then when we talk about it, we're met with accusations of hate. While these accusations are flying around, these same women are also being asked to understand and respect the rights of other women to exist according to their feelings. There's an air of unfairness that is toxic, and it doesn't help the cause of any woman involved. This is not a position of fear or hate. If it's more so all feelings and experiences that need to be respected. You can't strong arm a position and define others while demanding a self-defining space. And when a biological woman says, don't call me gendered, respect that as much as you want pronouns respected, we have the right to define ourselves. The biggest issue on the table is, and if all don't agree in silence, that are branded as haters and told that we have a phobia. This is the art of doing to others the very same thing that you claim to be fighting against. And lastly, it helps to keep in mind that more than one can exist in a space and all of its needs to be respected. Womanhood will never just be an identity nor just a feeling. Understand that some will not agree, and much respect for your right to disagree. We will continue to stand on fairness and to have the right to have a seat at the table that we were born to sit at. Now that we have addressed that part, let's address something else. See, this is a no harm, no foul, no judgment zone here. Truly, it's not. This is not a blame game. This is a call for order. I don't care. I don't care. If you recognize yourself as being a woman, welcome to the table. Welcome to the conversation. But what I do know is that tearing down another woman is not going to help. It's not. And far too often, spilling the tea is equal to spilling acid. Understand that what we're going to conversate about can be said about any group dynamic, but we don't walk in those circles, so we can't address their own corrosion. What we care about is the state of the sister circles amongst Black women, because we believe how we interact with each other has a direct effect on our community. We birth community. So it's only fair to assume that we have a strong hand in how that community is managed. I know that the Black man has a pivotal role to play in said community, and how they interact with us is just as important. We can get to that. But today, Black women, we are the topic, and our relationship to each other. We already entered into the world where the scales were not balanced in our favor. Has not. We could argue how we relate to each other and say something about the state of our own individual wellness. The scales were not balanced. Let's acknowledge, if we can, that how we demand others to treat us is how we should treat each other. And if men in other groups do not respect us, then we should not disrespect ourselves. It makes no sense to rally together to fight others only to turn around and throw bricks in our own damn house. Conflict is a part of life, but how we handle it is the game changer. We know that talking shit and clowning around is a part of our culture, that we genuinely laugh at, or it's not a joke if it's hurtful. If we are being honest and dealing with the internal hurt and conflict that's within inside of us, this can cause us to respond to other sisters in an ugly way if we're not careful. There is absolutely nothing good that comes from tearing the woman next to you down. This is so important that we have to talk about this issue within our community, because far too often women that we tear down are not strangers. It's the women that we commune with on a regular basis that we hurt. Even if the goal is to help our sister become accountable, take better care of their health, or just make better decisions, this never comes from talking down to her. The greatest weapon we have as a Black woman is our words, our mouth. Our words are so powerful already. And if you're a believer, like I am, our words are on a whole nother level when it comes to the words coming out of the mouth of a Black. And to be fair, the power of our words has shown over time to be the healing and the death of depending on how we use them. At what point do we consistently speak life into the woman we claim to love and the one that moves through our community? This is something we must all, elder and young alike, have to sit with. Our daughters are tearing each other down because they saw their mothers do it. And the mothers saw their mothers do it. And that's something that happened from the home to the church to the streets. Will we always side with the culture when others attack us? But it's heartbreaking to turn around and see us do it to us. Cue the drama, reality TV. Not only is it on TV, it's on this app. Many of us agree that some of the mouths that we see on reality TV, when a certain person on a certain show fixed her mouth to say and called a Black woman a monkey. Do you remember that show? Do you remember that person? And with that being said, why in the name of all things sacred would that female, that Black woman, then turn around and call another Black woman a giraffe? Do you know what show I'm talking about? Here's the thing. It is too many of us that would justify calling people out of their name as to how we talk to each other, or maybe that's how they may look at one another because they don't like each other. So it was said in the heat of an unkind discussion, elevated. You see, the bottom line is regardless of the why, it's wrong. And as Black women, we have to learn how to communicate with each other. There can be a conflict that leads to a necessary confrontation, and no one has to get called out their name to settle the matter. The fuck? What the fuck are we doing? If we want to see progress amongst our people, our children, our community, we as the women of said community have to learn how to deal with one another in love. Where there is no love, there must be respect for self and for principle. How we engage with one another is a reflection of the respect we have for ourselves just as much as the woman in front of us. We already know that we can face adversity and harsh treatment outside of the community. Many of us have been allowed to harbor ill feelings and ones of mistrust against our own people as a result of trauma, unresolved conflict, and then even being caught in the web of another sister's trauma. At some point, we must come together and rise in unity and respect if we ever want to thrive as a whole. No harm, no foul, no judgment zone. The divine has given me this message to deliver, and I've delivered it. And there it is. Be well, stay safe, Ashe, and deep bow to each and every one of you. And I shall see you very, very soon.
I felt this before, and I can't afford to cry. I got work in the morning, I got bills, I got family ties. You play with the piece of me, I try not to reason with, not trying to make it clear. Wonder why you even here. Don't you know I can't be caught up on no bullshit. I don't got the time. Don't care who you with or what you're doing. I'm doing it right. Self-care, self-love, selfish. Self-care, self-love, selfish. And I want you to know that I did try my best with you. I cut off all my hoes, that was just for you and I don't got the time. I'm doing it right. Self-love, self-care, selfish, baby. Self-love, self-care, I'm selfish as